Howdo! Welcome back to Edgar TV, where today we're going to be discussing Peter Wright. Was the reaction, was the comments, or are the comments to Peter Wright knee-jerk reactions, or is there some legs in them? Now, when Peter Wright's form started to take a bit of a downturn, there was a lot of people calling and suggesting that Peter Wright should retire. Ludicrous. Especially when he's where he's in the rankings. Not going to happen. People suggesting maybe he should consider the seniors, suggesting his best years behind him, which there may be. Certainly a level of consistency in the winners' enclosure, but it doesn't necessarily mean he's not going to get to the winners' enclosure. Now, the knee-jerk reaction sort of came to the results. It wasn't just one or two results, it was a consistent base of results. When we look at the Premier League from a couple of years ago, didn't win a night, finished bottom of the league, leg difference minus 29. He followed that up this year with possibly an even worse one, picking up just 2 wins in his entire campaign, getting just 4 points, being rock bottom of the Premier League and being 25 points away from a qualification place for the finals night. That was possibly where it started really drawing the attention, when he was losing on a weekly basis. Now, it doesn't mean he's lost everything at the first round, but he did go on a very bad run of form. When we take a look at the form that he was showing in those big ranking events, the World Match Play, lost in the opening game to Andrew Gilding. UK Open, last 16, which was his 3rd round game, he beat Josh Richardson, he beat Andrew Gilding, but lost 10-9 to Stephen Bunting. 3-0 at the World Championship, didn't get out his group at the Grand Slam, didn't even qualify for the Players' Championship finals. So there was a lot of alarm bells ringing regarding the Peter Wright game. Now, the one I'm really alluding to is that World Match Play defeat. When he lost to Andrew Gilding in that World Match Play, it really was one of those sort of reactions from the sort of darts community saying Peter Wright's past his best. Peter Wright did an interview not long after that suggesting that he will win things, that he's going to do well at the back end of the year. I've looked through the post again just to remind myself of those comments. I'm not going to put them on the screen because I don't think it'd be fair to the people that made them to highlight them. But there were so many people calling him delusional, amongst other things. Now, one thing I wanted to make this video for was just the inspirational story that is potentially unearthing here in Peter Wright. Because it doesn't matter that he wasn't winning. It doesn't matter he wasn't getting those results. It doesn't matter what the pundits were saying or what the fans were saying. Peter Wright was still doing interviews suggesting he was going to win. He didn't follow the story that he's past his best. And that is inspirational, because there's one person who needs to believe that you're going to win something, and that's you. And Peter Wright never lost his faith. He always had faith in his ability, always knew he was going to turn it around. So that, I think, is the real big part of this story. Going to show you how and where he turned it around in a moment. But was it the World Series? Maybe it was this European tour. Look at the results that Peter Wright got. And look at the games, 6-4, 5-4, 4, 7-5, 8-5. Tight games, close games. This is ideal because it shows that he was able to win those big moments, show that character when he needed it the most. And the players he beat, Van Gerwen with a 108, Dave Chisnell, who's picked up a title himself, Luke Littler, then emerging talents like Springer and Van Veen. Bunting's already emerged, and he's the Masters champion. But a real big run, worst average of the day, 93, well, the weekend should say, 93.50. That for me was the real big moment, and you could see just from the picture I've chose to use how emotional Peter Wright was. Although he had that unwavering confidence in himself, maybe we could see just how much it was denting, hearing those things about him, those suggestions that his career was over. He thought otherwise. Now, let's take a look at where this happened. Let's take a look at where this changes. Yes, we can pinpoint results. We can look at the World Series. We can look at that European tour. But the stats and the data do help us out in this situation. I've contacted FDI. Now, FDI for me is the go-to source when you want stats and data. Go check them out on Twitter. I'll put their handle up on the screen. I'll link them in the description below. Go give them a follow. If you want incredible information like this, FDI is your main source of information. So here is all the key information and data and everything we need to look at in regarding the periods of time across this year. As you can see, a massive upturn across the year. Now these are broke down. You can see the dates at the top there in which they relate to and the periods of time. All the key sort of things you need to know here. Now the little hashtag at the next of them there. So we see average. Peter Wright 91.85. Hashtag 48. That what did we used to call it before a hashtag came out? Well, it's not a hashtag, is it? But hash 48. That means he was the 48th best player of everyone in that period of time, the tour card holders. So he was playing like a player who was sort of just above the cutoff of keeping hold of a tour card. Now, number 15, back in the top 16 of averages and moving the right direction. In fact, look at all of those stats. 15, 13, 18, 12, 6. So he's starting to get back towards that sort of top 16 level of form. The only thing letting him down a little bit is his doubles. But look at where he has been in regards to those doubles. 71st and 80th out of all tour card holders. So outside of the stats of a player that would keep their tour card. Now, that is why I said that European Tour win was so big and so important for him in regards to how tight and close those games was. Another thing that really stands out for me here is the level of consistency. First, all around the 15 data, now number 6 in the world. 15 data, 100 average, do that on throw, you're forcing your opponent to go out in 12. So you're going to get a good level of control, especially when you're getting 52.46%. The other stat here is look at him at the start of the year, 4.16% when a 12 data was possible. Now, more than double that. So that means he's got that impact play. He's got that ability now to land a major blow. That means he's able to break the throw. That means if he puts that in, you're going to need a 9 to break him. So big stuff there. Big improvements, and certainly big improvements as well in the 180 department. It doesn't seem like a lot, 0.32 against 0.21, but let's take a look at that in regards to an actual leg percentage. 0.21 is saying he needs roughly 5 legs to hit a 180. Now, we're very close to him needing 3 legs to hit a 180. So again, able to land a big major blow. So the recent upturn in form that we've seen at the European Tour, at the World Series of Darts, is heavily backed up by data. It's not that people are missing shots against him and all of a sudden he's starting to steal some games. This is maybe a resurgence of Peter Wright. Certainly he believes he is. I saw him say, "I'm back," as he went backstage. He feels good. The interviews are strong still as always. So maybe as we're going into the back end of this year, we're going to see Peter Wright back towards the back end of tournaments. And certainly there's plenty of value out there on Peter Wright at the moment as well, due to what he was doing at the start. I think he's going to be one to keep an eye on at the back end of this year. He's not the Peter Wright that we saw at the start of the year. Peter Wright seems to be back to his normal form. Let me know what you think is going to happen with Peter Wright. Is this just sort of a little bit of a quick wave back? Or are we going to see Peter Wright winning once again? Let me know. Comment section down below. Hit the like on your way down there. Hit the subscribe. Loads of content coming over the next couple of weeks. Catch you soon for some more Edgar TV.